it's Danielle Panabaker. I'm here on the CW Flash Facebook to chat with you guys about all things Flash as we wrap up season 3. All right, before I see some questions pop up, I'm going to answer some pre-submitted questions. Somebody says, how much work goes into becoming Killer Frost? I mean, it's funny, people always ask me, how long does it take you to get ready as Killer Frost? It doesn't actually take as long as you think. It takes about an hour and a half. The hardest thing they have to do is they have to like gel my hair back really tight and pin it back, and then they paint it white. So they paint my hair white, and then they put the wig on. So that's the most tedious part. The makeup doesn't take so long. You know, it takes a minute to put the contacts in. Who is Savitar? Guys, you know I can't tell you. But I'm pretty sure you find out who Savitar is tonight. So make sure you guys tune in to tonight's episode of The Flash. Guys, everybody who asks, I'm not telling you who Savitar is. Describe tonight's episode in one facial expression. I wish I could do it in emojis. Like, I feel like tonight's episode would be the guy, the like screaming guy with his hands on his face. I think that's what he would say about tonight's episode. If you could be any of the other metahumans, which one would you be? I mean, I'm pretty excited to be Killer Frost. I'm not gonna lie. How did you get your costume? Oh, I thought it would have been really cool if Cisco made my costume, but I don't think Cisco really wants to help Killer Frost. So I think Savitar just gave it to her. I assume. That's my guess. Is Blue Beetle going to make an appearance? I don't know who Blue Beetle is. And so I certainly have no idea if he's going to be making an appearance on The Flash. Okay. Next question. Describe... Oh, wait. No, I did this one already. Who's been your favorite metahuman so far in the series? I don't know. One of my favorite villains, I really like the Trickster. I really like Captain Cold, and he's coming back before the end of the season, so that's exciting. But neither one of those are really metahumans. You don't look good in silver hair. Okay. It's actually white. The wig itself is actually white. Would you rather fight a 10 duck-sized dinosaurs or a dinosaur-sized duck? I don't want to fight either of them. All right. What's one power that you wish Caitlin Snow had? What about the rest of the cast? Caitlin Snow, I wish she had the power to be lucky in love. I feel like she's been heartbroken so much, so I would like to see her have that power. Please don't go bad and leave Team Flash. Well, Joshua, I think you need to catch up on the Flash. Other questions? Yes, it is really fun to play the bad girl. Like, it's been such a great experience. It's been so fun. I love it. It's a nice treat. Fun to do something different. What is your favorite episode in Flash so far? I don't know. I feel like the episodes we do, usually every year, episodes like 13 and 14 are really big episodes, and those have been some of my favorites. 13 and 14 of season 1 was when we got Stein back, and obviously I love Victor Garber and Robbie and Val, so that was great. 13 and 14 of season 2 was Earth 2, so that was awesome. Let's see. If you could bring one character back to the Flash, who would it be and why? I mean, I know we have a lot of speedsters, but I really like Trajectory. I thought Allison Page did an awesome job. What mental preparation? Do I find it challenging? I feel like at this point I spent enough time sort of getting to know Killer Frost and her backstory and stuff, so hopefully, you know, that plus my imagination sort of fills it all in. How do you remember all those big words you use every episode? I honestly do have to Google a fair amount, and I practice them. Hopefully I don't practice them wrong. But we usually shoot, I mean, I don't think we ever shoot more than 7 or 8 pages a day, so that would be the most that I'd ever really have to memorize one day at a time. Well, thanks. I love your notes. I love that everybody loves Sky High. Such a fun movie. Summer's coming up, so if you guys haven't seen Sky High, it's a good time to watch it. Catch up. Let's see. How can fans prepare for tonight's episode? Well, I think tonight's episode is going to be a good one. Killer Frost, you're going to get to see some of her powers. It's cool powers that we've never seen before. I mean, obviously we've seen her make the ice wall and shoot ice with her hands and that sort of thing. But there's a really cool trick that she does through the city, through Central City, and I'm excited to see that. So I would say eat dinner, go to the bathroom before the show starts, and just sit down and be prepared. What's harder to portray, Geeky? Oh, the evil Ice Queen. Both characters have their challenges. I like them both, and I like that I get to do both. Give one hint about Savitar. Nope, sorry, can't do it. When I watch the show, do I enjoy it? I do enjoy it. You know, I like watching the show because I feel like, you know, our scripts tend to be fairly long, and we shoot a lot more than ends up ultimately making it into the episode. So I like watching the show. I don't like watching myself. That's not fun for me. But I do like watching everybody else's performances. Killer Friday. Oh, that's an interesting question. Do we all have a Killer Frost inside of us? You know, I think people are multifaceted. I don't think anyone's all good or all bad. Hopefully people don't have the really villainous killer instincts that she does. Okay, I'm going to go back to the questions for tonight. Do you have any plans from now until you start filming season 4? Hopefully, just relax. We just finished filming about a week ago. I'm still trying to catch my breath, relax, get over a cold. So I'm just happy to be home and catch my breath, that kind of thing. What are 3 words to describe tonight's episode of The Flash? I would say frosty, fun, and shocking. All right, let's see. If there's one thing you could change about Killer Frost, what would it be? I mean, I wish she didn't want to kill people. If she didn't want to kill people, she'd be, you know, not so bad. Who is the fastest runner of the cast members? Oh, I don't know. I feel like Tom Cavanaugh runs the most, like he's the most consistent exerciser and runner, so he might win. Are Caitlin going to finish happy in next season for the first time? Based on the way things look, it's episode 20 airing tonight, and we only have 23 episodes a season. I don't know that things will end happily for Caitlin, but you have to tune in to find out. Hi from Indiana. Romance. When is Caitlin going to have a true love interest? You know, I don't necessarily think Caitlin needs a true love interest. I'm fine with her being an independent single woman. Okay, keep looking at questions down here. What's it like to play 2 different characters between the good and the bad Killer Frost? It's great. It's fun. I feel a little bit different on set. Being in the costume for Killer Frost actually really helps. It feels very differently. And it's, you know, it does feel, she feels sexier, she feels more powerful. But I think it'll be interesting to see how that evolves, you know, as we get to tell more and more episodes and more stories. How is it like working with Tom Cavanaugh? Tom Cavanaugh is the best. He is an incredible human. He's an incredible person. He's an incredible father. He is an incredible storyteller. He directed last week's episode 19 of The Flash, and I think he did an unbelievable job. I'm so proud of him. He's just the best. We're very lucky to have him on the show. Aloha from Hawaii. Who do you expect to be the next big bad? You know, I think if you've been paying attention, you might be able to pick up on what people are planning for next year. I don't know anything. I feel like I don't even think they've actually started writing season 4 yet, so we'll all just have to stay tuned. Would I want superpowers? Yes and no. I feel like, and this might be a quote from the show, but you have to have, with great powers comes great responsibility, and I don't know if I'm ready for that responsibility. You know, poor Barry has to struggle enough trying to save the city. It seems like a pretty difficult job. If you could bring one DC character to the show, I would love to start seeing some more women on the show. I think they did a really cool thing this year. The character of Top in the comics is, I believe, a man, and they made her a woman on the show, which was awesome. So I would love to see more women on the show. I think it's pronounced Katana, is a very cool person from the comic book world. I think it'd be fun to have her magician. She's a little like Abracadabra, but not so much. Is there a contest for viewers to make a guest appearance on the show? Not to the best of my knowledge. We film in Canada, so I think, there's probably some legality with all of that. But always appreciate the enthusiasm. Did you increase your training, Tom? Oh, Thomas. I do train with him in Vancouver sometimes. The boxing is fun. I mean, I think it's a little bit more, it's cool to be a little bit more aggressive and sort of get your anger out that way. Do you feel that Julian has developed better people skills? I think so. I think Julian has gotten better people skills. He's also gotten to know the members of Team Flash a little bit more. I think there's something about being British that also keeps him a little more buttoned up. Choose between being Caitlin or Killer Frost. That's a tough decision because I do really love Caitlin and I love getting to play her and I love her role on Team Flash. I don't know though. I'm having so much fun being Killer Frost. I might choose to stay her for a little while. Do Savitar. I'm excited for you guys to figure out who Savitar is. I hope you're going to be surprised, and then I hope you're also going to say, oh, of course, like, I should have known. It makes total sense that it's so-and-so. So I'm excited for you guys to see and can't wait to hear what you guys think. Caitlin sure does move on quickly. That's not really a question. Can you explain how Caitlin got her powers? Okay, so Caitlin, at the beginning of Season 3... end of Season 2, beginning of Season 3, Barry ran back in time. And when he tried to reset the timeline, he messed some things up. Things were different. And one of the things that was different was that Caitlin Snow had powers. So all through Season 3, Caitlin's had these powers. And at first, she hid them from everyone. She finally told Cisco. And then she's got these powers. And it's sort of like there's this bad, evil person named Killer Frost who lives inside of Caitlin, who's trying to get out, and if you're caught up on the show, or at least through episode 18, you see how that happens. Do you think there'll be a team up with Killer Frost? I would love to see Killer Frost and Captain Cold. I think that would be awesome. I think Wentworth is wonderful and so talented, and I think there would be some frosty powers. Be a lot of snow for that episode. We want to see Teddy Sears. Oh, I would love to have Teddy back, too. I don't know how they would do it. I mean, the good news is there's 52 Earths, so it's definitely a possibility, but you never know. Tom Cavanaugh, yes, he does an unbelievable job playing all those different characters. And this year in particular, it was really cool to see him come up with all of his little bits. The top of the season, he really had the coffee thing. Coffee was important. And then he really needed these drumsticks, and the drumsticks have become such an important part of his character. I'm so impressed with him and by him. It says a bunch of people shared the video. Thanks, guys. If Flash could do a crossover with any other show? Oh, I don't know. I hear we have another big crossover coming up later this year, so hopefully that goes well. I would like to cross over to Supergirl. That's my wish for all of this. Although I did get very lucky on the last crossover, and I got to work a lot with Victor Garber, who's just wonderful, so generous and so kind. So I don't know where else I'd want to cross over. Is Flash teaming up with anybody to stop Savitar? Yes, I think you're going to get to see some familiar faces return. Hopefully you're excited to see them. Wentworth comes back, which has already been revealed. Somebody else comes back, and I'm not going to tell you who that is. So they're going to do their best and, pull out all the stops to try and stop Savitar and save Iris. How does Savitar know that Earth 2 Cisco? Oh man, it cut off that question, so I didn't even get to see all of it. Barry, Cisco, Hunter, or Ronnie? Who would you like Caitlin to date? I feel like Ronnie was her one true love. Like, I feel like that's who she was supposed to be with. Firestorm and Killer Frost, Ronnie and Caitlin Snow. Maybe he'll come back. I can always hope. What was my reaction when I found out who Savitar is? I was excited. It's a cool reveal. It's awesome for this actor to get to do it. And I was just excited to see it and to see their take on being a villain. All right, guys. I think we are coming close to the end of our time together. Any other last questions before I have to wrap it up? Someone says, what's it like to fight against your team? It's sad. I mean, it's fun because I get to work with Carlos, who's one of my favorite people, but I think from a storytelling perspective, it is a little bit of a bummer that Caitlin's turned against her team and her family. Why is Killer Frost so willing to work along Savitar? I think that'll become very clear when you understand who Savitar is. I think at the end of episode 19, when you see the look on Killer Frost's face, when she realizes who it is, I mean, obviously it's a familiar face to her, and that's why she's so willing to be so loyal to them. Let's see. When will we see the Killer Frost versus Vibe showdown? You will see a pretty epic Killer Frost and Vibe showdown tonight on tonight's episode of The Flash, and there's still a little bit more before the end of the season. So stay tuned. 4 more episodes left. A lot's going to happen. You're going to find out who Savitar is tonight. Hopefully that will answer a lot of your questions. I thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for all of your questions. And hopefully we'll talk soon. Take care.